because it is a shame that we waste our lives. There are doctors that see terminal patients who have been living in that area of banality, how they die, and it's not fun. They're desperate because they understand they have wasted their lives in just settling for the little they had and the little they built. In coaching, while I do some sessions, I work quite often on the values of my clients because it's important that people become aware of what are their driving values. In other words, what are the values that most drives them forward, drives them to achieve something, drives them to be more and to accomplish more. So, because values are the fuel of our soul, of our motivation, that is why it's so important that people become aware of their values, because we do follow our values even unconsciously. But it's much different if you consciously plan your goals, for example, based on an absolute knowledge and awareness of what your driving values are. Now, there aren't just positive values. In other words, go-to values or towards values. There are also those that are backing away values, those that we do not want to experience, because the good values we want to experience as long and as often as possible. But the negative, what we call the negative values, the undesirable values, or which are emotional states, those we don't want to experience at all, ever. And even that is important to become aware of, because the pushing away values, backing away values, are the ones that stop us, because unconsciously or unconsciously, we figured that if we go in that direction, I may have to face situations which will trigger these negative values within me. So that's why it's so important that we become aware of that. Perhaps not absolute, if not the first, it's for sure the second negative value, go away value, is banality, is triteness, it's mediocrity, it's commonplace, cliche, stereotypes, all that stuff. It's what makes you live in the middle of this line, of this continuum, where on one side you have like perfect evil, on the other side you have perfect goodness. And both evil and goodness are very active. In other words, what I mean, that when a person is evil, that person actively searches to hurt, but not with the intention of hurting, or sometimes even that, yes, he feels satisfaction in hurting other people because it feels greater, it feels bigger, more important, because he can control other people's lives. So there is this, sadistic impulse in being evil. But the point is that that person wants to achieve a lot in his life. He is ambitious. He wants more. And I would say rightfully so. The way he's using to get there is wrong, but wanting to have more, that is good, because that's what the good person does. On the other hand, the good person wants to create as much well-being as possible, and he wants the well-being for himself as well, so that he can give. In the other side, he just wants to take. This is the difference. Where are the people that live in banality? In the middle. Let's say this continuum, which is infinite, by the way, but let's say it has 100 degrees. 0 degree is like Satan, like it's like Hitler and Stalin and the worst people, and Genghis Khan, the worst people that ever lived, and that have done a lot of harm to everybody, to many people. Okay, those are like 1, 0, 1. The saints, the people that have done a lot or people that have changed the world, that have contributed to make it better, are like 99 to 99, 100. That's the thermometer. Where do where does banality positions itself? Anywhere in between, say, 25, 30 to 70, 75. That's the vast majority of people that, they live in that state of banality, of self-assurance. They don't want to take risks. They are not aware of their potential. And so they live far beyond, far beneath that potential. And they just want a regular life. Like regular. That is the word, a regular. They want regular marriage, a regular job, a regular food, something that everybody accepts, kind of. You know, it's okay whether I go to the best restaurant or a fast food joint. Doesn't matter. Really doesn't matter. It's okay. It's both. Oh, that's fine. Um, my family life is okay. Yes, we argue, but all in all, it's okay. It's not too bad. I have my children. Yeah, they're not too bad. That's the way most people live, and I hate that. And I'm telling you, the people that want to do coaching are those that live in that position, and they want to come out of that. Now, that's not what normally the people living in that segment of banality do. That's not their choice. They're perfectly content. It's okay. What do you want more? You can't ask for everything. Why not? I mean, if that is a trite statement, right? Very banal statement. That's it. You can't have everything. Why not? First. And second, how do you know, or what is the limit above which it's too much? How do you know? Because if you live, let's say, in that area, but let's say 40, 50, you will have an idea of what your limit is. Perhaps if you move a little bit more towards positive, you feel you can have more. So where's the limit? There is no preconceived or pre-established limit on what a good life and a bad life is. There's no such thing. So why even calculate it? We have to go beyond this reasoning. And we've got to understand these dynamics, because it is a shame that we waste our lives. There are doctors that see terminal patients who have been living in that area of banality, how they die, and it's not fun. They're desperate because they understand they have wasted their lives in just settling for the little they had and the little they built. Now, it's okay that you fight and you're still living in a not so good situation, but at least you fight. At least you're struggling to come out of that area of banality, because you know there's more to it. You may succeed or not. That does not matter. What matters is that you're fighting, that you're struggling, and that you are aware that you're in an area where you do not want to be, that you hate, and you want more. This is what coaching is about. Because personally, I can tell you 70 or 80% of the people that come to me are in that area. As a person, private person, individual, as a businessman, as a salesman, as an entrepreneur, whatever. They are in that area. They just follow the path that others before them have built for them. Yes, they may go a little outside the borders of this path. It's okay. But sooner or later, they'll get that, because it will allow them to live in survival mode. They have enough to go on. And so they figure, why should I take chances? Why should I take risks by being active and do something that others don't do? Now, I professionally chose a difficult way because I've been working a lot on systems dynamics, systemic intelligence, which people Still don't understand. And when I talk about that, it's not very attractive. But I know that that is not banal. There's no banality in that because that enables you to understand the structure of a reality. And that's why I chose this. And it's not easy. But I'm not giving up. Not giving up because and I see in the last year, very few years, that things are changing in this. People are becoming more and more aware of the fact that the way they have been living and working, by just considering the normal things to do, is no longer taking them anywhere. The world has changed and it has become more and it will grow more and more systemic. So you need to understand how that works. And that is not banality. When you choose, for example, in my industry, coaching, I see many coaches that just coach whatever other people do. They don't, yes, part of their game is to take people out of their comfort zone and all that stuff. That's okay. But even that is normality right now. I mean, that's what a coach is supposed to do. But it's not enough to take people outside their comfort zone. It's important that you expand their brain, their mind, and see what's beyond what they see. It's not just about themselves, it's about their relationship with what's out there. That is the difference. This is systemic intelligence. That's what it does. Today everybody is on emotional intelligence, which is good, which is right. I agree 100% with emotional intelligence. But emotional intelligence, as I said, is just about yourself. It's about growing yourself. But there's no interaction with the outside, if not at an emotional level, because there is no understanding of the dynamics that go on when you apply emotional intelligence, even whether it's within yourself or with others. So we have to go beyond that. Now, what makes the difference now between the good and the bad? The central part, the banality part, is passive. People just go along. That's it. That's what they do. They just continue to think what everybody else thinks, and they think it's right because the majority thinks that. But on the other side, they say, no, I don't want to think like everybody else. I want more. Why? Because I feel I am more important than what I am now, right? That's what I said before. But why are they then choosing different paths? Why one absolute evil and the other one absolute good? They want the same thing. And that's because of their intention. Because the intention of the evil is to take. They say, I deserve more, so I'll take it. And if somebody gets hurt, their problem, not mine. I want that. On the other hand, the other person also feels, I deserve more. I am more than what I'm manifesting right now. And I want to know more and more about me. But I want to give. That's why I want to grow, not so that I can take, but so that I can give, because that is true abundance. Because you can steal as much money, as many things as you want. But if you're in a state of scarcity inside yourself, you will always feel poor. You will always feel scarcity. This is the difference. Because taking is a need. Now, when you're desperate about something, when you need something desperately, you take it. Who cares if somebody gets hurt? But if you know that you have and that you have to give, well, then that is a totally different story. And that's where I want to take people. It's not just a question of taking them away from banality, but it's also a question of making them understand that their real success is to actively, and I stress actively, not passively, like in banality, actively pursue good. Because they're good, banal people. They just do regular things. Okay, not bad. No glory, no shame. That's okay. That's one way of living. Not for the good. He wants more. He wants to be actively participant in this great thing that we call life. See you next.